So guys, thank you very much for joining me today. We've got four lovely ladies with me, so I'm just going to ask them a few questions to give you a bit more of an insight into the Breaking Free program. I'm going to start with you, Lynn. Lynn is here in South Africa. So just tell us why you signed up and how it's going.
How is it going? Let's start with that question.
Okay.
It's bloody brilliant. I've been excited from boot camp days. I've been excited about this program. I mentioned this to a friend yesterday. I feel like Tom Cruise on the couch when he announced his new girlfriend to the world. I've just love this program. It's given me a new lease on life. Feeling supported in something so daunting as giving up alcohol. And yeah, thank goodness I found you guys. Let's start with me from the beginning. How did I find myself knowing that I had to do something? Because I recognized these real signs that my drinking was escalating. And I'm not a wine drinker. I don't drink wine. I drank spirits. I drank hard whiskey. My favorite sound was that whiskey bottle opening. It was like party in a bottle time. And from one bottle, which would take me through a week, one bottle was taking me through an evening's drinking, and I might have one or two left for the next day. I was having to go to different bottle stores because I couldn't go to the same bottle store on a Monday and then again on the Tuesday, knowing very well the bottle wasn't going to last me the next night. So I became an absolute professional bottle store hopper on the Atlantic seaboard in Cape Town.
There's a lovely story about that, I must tell you. Claire Pooley, she's the editor of Sober Diaries, and she had a blog, a very successful blog, and she talks about that. And she said that at one of her events, she met this woman who was a cashier in a liquor store. Claire Pooley was saying, "Oh, I used to be obsessed about going to different places in case they recognize me. And I used to think that they judge me, but of course you don't judge people, do you?" And the cashier said, "Yes, we do."
Yeah. When I recognized that this is what I was doing, number one, the red flag went up immediately. I didn't obviously immediately take it on that I had a problem, because I don't have a problem. I just maybe drink a little bit too much, but I don't have a problem.
No.
Then I realized that my whiskeys were getting stronger and stronger. Just that half a glass of whiskey with this much water was too watered down. It didn't give me the buzz anymore. So the whiskey got stronger and stronger. I knew I had to do something because I wasn't liking the person I was becoming. I wasn't recognizing myself anymore. From the puffy face, the red cheeks, the swollen eyes, the constant grumpy and short-tempered. When I walked into the office, I'd park the car and walk through the front door of the office building, and I could hear them say, "She's here." I could feel that. And I had to hold myself together because the head was pounding. So I gave off this persona of people don't mess with me kind of thing. I'm the sweetest kind of girl on the block. And back then I wasn't.
Why did you decide that Breaking Free might be the program for you? Because you did our boot camp, didn't you? So
I did.
suppose you felt you got to know us a bit.
I think by the second day, Janet, I knew that I couldn't do something like AA. I couldn't be labeled for the rest of my life as an alcoholic.
Yeah.
First and foremost, don't like the word. I don't like the label. I have stopped tomorrow, 100 days, people.
Yeah.
This person, 100 days, alcohol free. Who would have thought? Certainly not me. Studied in January in boot camp. Day one, I thought, what, how, why? The questions were going through my head. The next day I woke up, And I think it was the second day, and I joined.
Yeah.
Tribe sober because I didn't hear any of the words that gave me that horrible feeling. I heard support. I heard inspiration. I heard friendship. I heard perspective. Heard tools. All the words that stabilized the thought process of saying, I don't want to drink anymore, or I'm going to give it a damn good try not to drink again. But day 3, I was flying. I knew this was for me. And I said on day 3 to myself, there is only one day 1. I'm not going back. And I signed up for breaking free. It is the best bloody gift I've given to myself and for my future. I might be 66 years old, but I'm not 66 years old. I'm going into my next phase. I'm looking for my next thing. Breaking free gave me that. If I have anything to say to anybody about breaking free, give yourself the gift.
Yeah.
Do it.
And sobriety is the gift that keeps on giving, because
On and on. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. So, Helen, let's pop over to the UK now. Lynn mentioned friendship there, didn't she? I think the community piece was huge for you, wasn't it? And you came out with this lovely expression, tribe within a tribe.
I think, like Lynn, literally from day one, there were certain individuals that told me without saying a word to me that they were going to be my people.
Yep.
And within a week of the boot camp, and it wasn't smooth sailing for me, the boot camp, but by the time I'd got to the end of it, literally I had already got sisters from another mister and a brother from another mother, and we are still breaking free 3. We are still now living our future lives on Butterfly Boulevard that we've all decided we're all moving to. Me, Pia and Grania are probably in the center of the street, and Eric's requested a house that's about 100 yards further down, so he can have a bit of peace and quiet. The Breaking Free program created a tribe within the tribe. So a lot of people on day 1 say, oh, it's overwhelming. There's so many people and oh, this and that. This. But very quickly, if you engage thoroughly and in a vulnerable way and in an honest and an open way with those people, very soon you will find your tribe within the tribe. The current Breaking Free program, you can see it over the weeks. There's certain people who are engaging with different people more and such. So they will also find their tribe within, obviously, the membership of the tribe, which is large. You've got this small group that focuses just on where you are because they are in the exact same position as you. At that very moment, you're on day 1 and you haven't got a clue what day 2 is going to look like yet, what day 4 is going to look like. Because if it's a bit itchy, you have people to lean on, and it's incredibly powerful and it's super important. I think it's what probably sets Tribe Sober apart from any other group that I've come across.
Oh, thank you, Helen. And tell us all how it feels to be 1 year sober.
The weirdest thing was I didn't want to make it a big thing. It's just another day. And yes, it's lovely to go, it's a year. But by the time you get there, it is one of those things where you're already in a position to be looking at what's happening in year 2.
Yep.
In the first days, God, I was the one. I'm there with my tracker every week. I've done another day. I was the one, and like, well, how's everybody else? Kind of thing. This is just, I've done my 66 days, and then 100 days. I'd set myself this challenge of 100 days, and I had a right royal wobbler because I'd set myself this challenge, and in my brain, my challenge was over. I had a few wobbly days, and again, everybody waded in and said, "Come on, it's only 101, it's only 102, it's only 103. Come on!" And again, that wobble passed, and ultimately, then. It is correct in saying that you do get to the stage where the milestones are greater, but weirdly they become less significant, it feels.
I agree with.
I always say to people, you've got a year of firsts. On day one, you wake up and the first breath you take, the first step you take, the first time you clean your teeth sober, that day is monumental for maybe thousands of firsts. And then day two, you've got another 1,000, and they get smaller and smaller. The amount of firsts get smaller, but the actual firsts themselves get bigger. The first time you go to a pub and don't order a drink, the first birthday, first Christmas, first wedding that you go to, all of those things, they get bigger. But yeah, having reached the year, it genuinely feels and on to another year.
I think from what I remember about year two, that's the exciting bit really, because you've nailed the sobriety, you've done the hard work, and now it's the exciting bit because you're going to create the kind of life that you really want, the best life. Oh, thank you, Helen. And you've been such a brilliant cheerleader to the current group, hasn't she, Lynn? And
Absolutely.
so let's pop across the pond. Do they still say that? Laurie, you were racing through the online course that comes with Breaking Free, and you finished it ahead of time because the Breaking Free program is 3 months and it comes with an online course. And in fact, people have lifetime access to that course. But you really got going, didn't you? Tell us a few things you learned, maybe.
Yeah, I got going. It was, you could say, the book I couldn't put down, but it's mostly a lot of podcasts and things like that. So I downloaded the app that Janet has set up with 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐭, Kajabi. I started on the computer, but then I just wanted to have it in my back pocket. So I carried my tribe in my back pocket. And a lot of the podcasts I listened to in the vehicle. So I never had an excuse. With my lifestyle, that just worked. And it was just, I don't want to say trading one addiction for the other, but I couldn't wait to hear more. Once you start learning, just education is power. So the biggest thing probably was the science behind addiction, science behind the dopamine and the serotonin, and from multiple sources. Janet and Tribe Sober, all these podcasts, all these different people, all these interviews, everything was aligning. So the science was probably the biggest thing. And then wrapping my head around, we're the rebels. We're the rebels that give up drinking in this society all across the world. I'm in Arizona in the United States. And we're not the sheep just continuing to drink down with big alcohol, all the advertising, it's all around us. So instead of just continuing to pour that down our throats, and along with the science, just the cancers that it's causing, like my eyes just opened wide. The other big thing that hit home with me a lot was comparison. I didn't really think that I'm a comparison person because I don't compare myself in the fashion industry. I do me, but really realize, oh, so many of us do in terms of, oh, no, I'm not that bad. I'm not like my brother. Oh, no, I'm not an alcoholic. Oh, no, I don't have a problem. Like Lynn said, I don't have a problem. I don't drink that much. I'm a social drinker. Maybe drink a little too much. So realizing that by doing that comparison thing of I'm not as bad as her, look how much she's drinking, she's falling down, that it makes us feel better and rationalize our own drinking. So that was pretty big to be able to really hold up the mirror. And so, yeah, and just see myself so much in other people's stories.
Tell us that lovely story about driving across the desert and making vow to your brother.
I might cry, which is fine because I'm not numb. Our ability to feel all the feels, and it's very much the fabric of life. I just came back from my brother's celebration of life in Nevada, over in Las Vegas, actually, and he died of alcohol, of liver failure, multi-organ failure at 62 years old. When I was going over, my sister-in-law was taking him off of life support that day, and I'm driving over. And I'm in Arizona, which is a lot of desert. I'm high desert, and it was a horrible snowstorm in northern Arizona. I'm driving through, almost white out, and then got to more of the desertish part again. I'm in the realization that he's dying at 62 years old, and it was my 62nd day of being sober. I hadn't said the forever thing, but I just was driving, and I'm just like, let any desire I ever have in me for alcohol, let it go to the grave with him. Enough. Let it just go to the grave with him. And yeah, it was profound. It was profound. And honestly, that's when I knew that like I'm done with it. Because I was 62 days. I was working towards my birthday in May. But yeah.
It's a
So
wonderful feeling when you know that you're done. I think it's just
it's
you don't-
freeing. It is. It's like, enough is enough. I'm not going to do this to me. Yeah. So anyway, the energy of this group, as Lena said, oh my gosh. And I say to people, who knew it could be so fun? Wait, but as always, but this community, this tribe sober, I don't know that I even, I know I wouldn't have been here, but I don't even know that I would have wanted to as much either. That's even more key that it's, oh my gosh, this is like, just,
yeah, there's a kind of
Build-
magic, isn't it? We toss a bunch of people from all over the world in a WhatsApp group and magic happens and they all support each other.
which is the thing
cool
of having, the magic, like you see the magic from all around the world and having in your back pocket, no matter what time of day or what situation, you can always like reach out to somebody. I'm 104 days, I think today, just past 100. But just knowing if I need to reach out, if I need a girlfriend, somebody to link arms with me, I could. So that was just really cool. Yeah. I'm so
Laurie, you
grateful.
talked about us being in your back pockets and you downloaded Kajabi, didn't you, on your phone? So I do get people writing to me saying, I don't think I could cope with the tech of all this. But it's not that difficult, is it? I'm very happy to train people in the various things.
Yeah, it was so easy. I didn't have any glitches. I have an iPhone.
Yeah.
And with the Kajabi, I think that was the app. But once I downloaded it, I always just had to click on it and do a podcast. Not to scare anybody with the quizzes. They were just reviews of the things. It was just
Could
a
have another
review.
go at it.
Just another go.
asked.
Yeah, no. And it was just to remember, oh, those were those main points. It was like, cool. Yeah, got it. It was more, that felt more like an affirmation.
Yeah.
So I think I might have had to log in again sometimes on the quiz, but then I think it was only the first time. But no, it wasn't anything to stress for. The first one was like, oh my God, we're playing like, oh. But it just was more like, oh, yeah, I got it.
Do you find the time zones difficult to manage?
Oh, the time zones. No, they're quite lovely for me. I'm 9 hours different from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no time zones were, I'm pretty sure I met all of our breaking free zones. And then also like the tribe within the tribe. I'm in the weekly call that's Tribe Sober USA and Canada. But no, I didn't find any issue. And even setting up my coaching session, it's going to be my evening and her the morning. And yeah, looking forward to that. No, not at all. Very manageable. And there's so many tools online to be able to do the time zone conversion. It's,
Exactly.
yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
So granular. We've known each other for 8 years. And you've hopped on and off that old wagon a fair few times, haven't you? And
I
then
pushed it a few times. So
you pushed it, yeah. And why do you think breaking free made it stick finally?
okay, to talk to the 8 years, I think when you're a highly functioning person and you're just nailing life, you're doing what you need to do, you're doing all the tasks, you're ticking all the boxes, your career's going, you're producing the children, you're bringing them up, what you think you're bringing them up, what you can remember of it. And then you look around you and you have a spouse or you have a friend group or you go out and you see how other people are interacting with alcohol and you think, I don't have a problem. Okay. And I genuinely didn't think I had a problem. But it wasn't doing me any favors. And I think that was where the resistance to actually going, hang on a second, this is not working for me. Something felt wrong all the time. And I think when the boot camp came along at the beginning of last year and the Breaking Free program came along, I thought to myself, you haven't really committed to actually exploring what is wrong. And you haven't really committed to trying to look at what this relationship's all about. Okay. Yes, I'd been exposed to programs. It was a little bit half-assed and it was a little bit of maybe there's a problem, maybe there's not a problem. But it was a case of I'd never actually sat down, looked in the mirror and thought, hang on a second, this is not serving me. And actually, the struggle is real. When I started the Breaking Free with Helen and the rest of our butterflies, and I think what made it stick was the people and the education. And it was about, holy crap, is this what this stuff is actually doing to me? I'd had a father who'd passed away 2 years before that from dementia. And I suddenly thought to myself, my recall's not as good as it used to be. Maybe there's a problem here. Or the odd bruise that would pitch up and you'd go, I don't remember that one. But anyway, and how it affects your blood, how it affects your brain, how it affects your cognitive stuff. And then came the big C. And that has been my biggest fear in life, is ever getting cancer. And I didn't realize that it was such a carcinogenic. And I think there was a certain amount of fear that was instilled in the knowledge and the education of it. But it was a case of the fear was very well communicated in the fact that she's completely in control here. Okay. This is on you, on how you manage all of this stuff that could happen by just taking one thing out. Okay. And by taking one thing out, your pathway to life is just going to get really good. And that was it. I think it was the people and the education. And that's why the Breaking Free program, I think at the end of the day, is a life changer. And even if it is not the forever word, even if it is not something that you commit to full time, you can never unlearn what you've learned. That is the biggest thing, is that when you have that drink or 4 or 5, you're going to go, am I doing my body any favors?
Yeah.
And in the long run, when you get older and you get into your late 50s and your 60s, your tolerance is not anywhere like it used to be. I shudder sometimes when I think about my teenage years, and not my late teenage years, my 20s and my 30s, on how much damage I was actually doing. If you have that information, you are actually going to spread the word very subtly to those people around you.
Yeah.
And just make them think about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grania. Let's think about some of the common reservations that people have before they sign up for a program like this. So let's start with you, Lynn. If someone said to you, I know I've got a problem with alcohol, but I can't really afford that Breaking Free thing, what would you say?
That you can afford to buy some wine and you can afford to buy some whiskey. Don't tell me you can't, because you can. Don't tell me you've got a budget to buy groceries. You're going to buy less breakfast cereal and you're going to buy less milk and less sugar to buy the bottle. I know. I've done it. And I'm sure my Pridester sitting next to me in this panel discussion agrees with me 100%. We will find the money to do it. So if we can spend money on ourselves in such a destructive manner that makes us feel really whoop to whoop for 20 minutes at a time, then we can find money to invest in our future. And it's a solid investment. Your return on that investment is written in stone. It's going to get better and better. And for me personally, I love this new me. I've forgotten that she existed. I walked into bottle stores just to make sure that I'm still okay. I still know my way to walk in, and I go 2 right, 1 left, and I'm at the whiskey box. And it's I just hope nobody's watching on security cameras, because if they see me pass, it'll be shooting for me at the door. But I've done it, Janet, at Ultra in Greenpoint. I've done that. You have to invest in yourself. It's a matter of how important are you to you? And show up for yourself, back yourself, stand up for yourself. I used to do that years ago. Then life happens, the bottle happens, and all of that happens, and you forget you lose that thread, you lose who you are. And yeah, I would say to people who say they can't afford it, nah, go do the math. Go back to the drawing board. You owe it to yourself.
Yeah, it's
You
about
own-
putting ourselves first, isn't it? And creating
100%.
boundaries as well.
Yep.
Talking of boundaries, what would you say to someone that said, "Oh, my husband's a heavy drinker, all my friends drink, I can't cope with all them laughing at me or telling me I'm boring, so I don't think I can do this."
Since I've started BF6, can't has disappeared because can't equals fear. And everything that you want for yourself, everything you want for yourself is on the other side of fear. So take can't out of it completely for yourself. It's so liberating. I can't paint the wall. Take it out, paint the wall. It's a mess. Guess what? We'll fix it. If you take the word can't and fear out of your equation, you can achieve, like me, with Breaking Free, 100 days of sobriety, which I'm going to hit tomorrow. And I'm going to be walking down the stairs. Woohoo! The party's on. And I'm loving it. So don't worry about the husband. Don't worry about the friends. You all have different ID numbers. So all your ID numbers are different. So just because you're married doesn't mean to say he loves British football. I have to also love British. He drinks beer. I also have to drink beer. Oh, come on, girls, be stronger than that. You do this for you. Same with your friends. You might lose a couple along the way, but then you know what? Maybe they weren't worth keeping. It might be sad for a little bit, but you'll be doing so well with your new tribe and your new friendships within your tribe that you won't miss that negativity coming at you because you're just filled up with this possibilities and this positivity, and your bottle is full of fabulous things happening. And you find that what you're doing rubs off on them. They stop drinking a little bit, they will start drinking a little bit less. They might be curious and say to you, "You're not drinking." "No, not drinking." The end.
Yeah.
The end.
We've had quite a lot of couples, and it's usually the woman that has joined Tribe Sober, and they've had that objection. And within a few months, the guy is watching his wife and he's saying, "She looks fabulous. She feels great. She's full of energy. There must be something in this. I think I'll have a go."
I think we're also very scared to lose that connection, and we're also very scared that we might not be fun anymore.
Yeah.
I'm more fun now. Before, when I was drinking, I'd be a little bit quiet. Now I can't shut up because I'm just so damn happy about it. Breaking free is almost something I'm contemplating doing again. If I ever felt that I'm grappling or just not settling, nothing's stopping me as a member doing Breaking Free again, because I guarantee you I will find new things in the program that I missed on the first time round, because there's just so much taking it in. And just my last point with Breaking Free, what I loved about it is we have conversations that are life conversations, not alcohol conversations. We have life experiences with alcohol in it and with alcohol not in it. And we become buddies, like talking about life in general. We don't sit and say, "My name's Lynn and I'm an alcoholic," after 100 days, because I'm not. I refuse point blank to label myself in any negative form whatsoever. I'm a BF6 graduate from Wednesday. Come on. BF is absolute. Breaking Free is exactly what it says.
Yeah.
Breaking Free.
Yeah, the name comes from Freddie Mercury. I woke up
Yeah.
one morning with that song in my head, and I was just at that time looking for names, and I thought, that's the name.
That's the name, and it really works. So thank you for creating Breaking Free and Tribe Sober. I'm a proud member of Tribe Sober.
Thank you for having faith in us, Lynn.
Absolutely.
So, Helen, we're going to put in an extra coaching session this time. I don't know if you've come across Darren yet, but the Irish Darren, he's qualified recently as a coach. So we're going to put him in midway as a coach. And then at the end, there'll be Lynette as usual. Talk to us a bit about coaching. What do you get out of coaching?
I think for me personally, once I got my head around not drinking, so about halfway through and maybe made the 66 days, maybe I've made a bit more. And I got my head around that. And as Lynn said, the conversations within our group had started to move away from how hard we perceive this to be and actually how, in some respects, it's been pretty easy, because the reasons that I drank by joining Tribe Sober had been taken away. I was really sad and I was really lonely. So instantly, my sadness and my loneliness were listed by the group of people that I met. So once I've got my head around that, and I see it in the Breaking Free 6 group, it makes me chuckle to myself at the moment. And I see people going, I'm moving jobs, I'm changing partners, and I'm moving house, and and I was exactly the same. I literally went, yeah, I'm moving jobs, I'm moving house. In fact, I might move country. I felt so freed and my brain was so busy with everything. What the coaching did for me was to put my feet back on the ground. What is it that you want? Not what should you have. I always say to Lynn, and Lynn loves this, shoulds are for other people. Wants are for yourself. And what coaching does, it puts your feet on the ground and a focus towards what it is that you want. And that's irrelevant, weirdly, of all of your nearest and dearest as well. It might not be what your mum wants you to do, and it might not be what your son wants you to do or your partner wants you to do, but what it is you want for yourself. And then you can create off the back of it mini goals. So it goes from being, I'm just going to get to 66 days, I'm just going to get to 100, just going to get to this, to, oh, on the 66 days, I'll have saved best part of £1,000. So actually, I'm going to spend that £1,000 and I'm going to go, I don't know, skydiving. Or because it's a little tick on your little want list in life. You might still end up changing jobs and partners and houses and countries. That's great if you do. But what it does do is it gives you a bit of grounding. And it enables you to focus on things outside of the immediate giving up drinking piece. Because everybody will carry you along within your tribe on that journey of sobriety, but your life is a different kettle of fish. That's something that's solely for you. That's not everybody else's journey. They will all do different journeys. So the coaching piece really enables you to have focus on you.
Beautiful description. Yeah. I think coaching helps us to land the helicopter, because we've got all these ideas swimming around, but you sit with Lynette and she bring it down. What do you really want? Oh, thank you, Helen. Laurie, I know some people won't sign up because they're worried about failing. They say, oh, I'm going to sign up for this program, but I won't be able to do it. And then I'm going to feel bad about myself. So what would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Just the support and the friendship that you get in this, and I've seen it happen. And I love the people that show up, even though they did, whether we call it fall off the wagon, they had a step back. When we've had lots of discussions with people of thinking that meant they had to start over, that their 100 days didn't count, like whatever. No, like any day of sobriety, like counts. And just that big hug and embrace. If that does happen, you just the next day. And like Lynn was saying, it's just that fear. And there's so much freedom on the other side of fear. Aren't you failing every day if you don't try? You're failing yourself. You're betraying yourself. I know that's where I had got.
I don't want to stop forever. What would you say to someone like that?
Yeah, I loved that I heard very early on, that's the F word. Oh, that's the F word. We don't even say that. Because it does feel daunting, and because, oh my gosh, it was in my life since I was 14 years old. It's been my friend. It's been my party friend. It was always there. Even now, you don't say forever. You just make those mini goals, and it's different for everybody. Maybe it's the breaking free program to get to the end of that, but you're changing on that. You're changing your thinking about drinking. Another one, I love all these slogans. I'm a word person. So those things stick with me. I could drink as much as I want. I don't want to. I absolutely do not want to. And like Lynn said, it's just amazing how the process changes.
Yeah. Wonderful when we start just not wanting it anymore.
Not wanting it. The family celebration, it was interesting because it was a Friday night we were out to eat, and I saw a couple over there, and oh, it was this beautiful, sexy glass of red wine. Lighting was low. They were on a date. I was like, oh, that's sexy. But I wasn't craving it at all. And then the next night, when the family was gathered and we're gathering around and got my aunt her glass of Chardonnay, I carried it because my cousin had just too much carrying, and she didn't drink either. So that was like really wonderful. She was so excited for me. But to hold that glass, I was holding that sexy glass. Here's this beautiful glass in my hand. And then I noticed later that night, as I'm talking to my beloved auntie, I just love her. And she was like caressing that glass. And I think I used to do that too. I just really noticed listening to her, because you're just so tuned in and you're just picking up everything in the behavior. And she's stroking it, so in love with it.
I think as we do progress in our sobriety and the stages come in, and it's 3 months, and then it's 4 months, then it's 6 months, we start feeling so much better, and we just don't want to give up those benefits and go back to how we used to feel. Because when we're drinkers, I know I just got so used to feeling crap every time I woke up. You just get used to it and you accept it. So once you've stopped drinking and you wake up feeling great, you don't want to lose that.
Oh, yes. And we were in Las Vegas for a celebration of life. Waking up in Vegas like that. The morning we drove back yesterday. It just feels so good. Probably the only one around, and it feels so good. It just feels, and it's sacred. This other thing, I think, the sobriety for me, it is so sacred and so meaningful to me. And like Lynn said, the absolute best gift, the best thing I've ever done for myself. Yeah. Honestly, it just was like, oh my gosh. And it feels sacred. It's inside of me. This is my baby. This is so precious to me. It's that big. It's bigger than I ever even imagined it would be.
I think
It wasn't just something drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway,
we learn to love ourselves again, because when we're drinking too much, we lose ourselves and we're destroying ourselves.
Yeah.
Last one. Grania, this one's for you because you're a career woman, you've got a family, and we have a lot of ladies like that come and do the boot camp, and they say, I know I'm drinking too much and this program sounds good, but I'm such a busy woman, I'll never fit it into my day. You fitted it in all day, didn't you, somehow?
Yeah, there is a very old saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. And particularly women, we tend to put everything and everybody before us. And I think it happens when you are kids. You see your mum produce the dinner, and you see your mum be a mother, and you see your mum be a wife, and then you see your mum be the looker after of the older generation, and your mum be the educator, and your mum be the taxi, and your mum be this person, etc., etc. And I think what happens is that we then use alcohol to cope with all this pressure, and we lose ourselves completely, and we don't know how to find who we are under all of this life and all of this expectation. There comes a time where you actually have to stop and say, enough. Because, and I think Helen might remember this, I don't want my legacy to be who I was. I want my legacy to be who I am now. And I only knew that when I took one thing out the equation. And in order to facilitate that, I had to do some very scary things. I had to set boundaries. I had to say no, and I had to make time for me. And it was very difficult to actually tell everybody, I'm putting me first. And I know that there are people who might have younger kids where it is difficult, where, you know, life is making these demands of you, but you have to do it. And you actually have to say, I need 1 hour a day. And with it, you look at your life and you make that 1 hour a day at 4 o'clock in the morning, or you make it at 8 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter, but you actually have to set those boundaries. You have to say no, and you have to put you first. And when you do that and people around you start going, okay, that's a bit odd. Why is that happening, kind of thing? They will be resistant at first. But when they see the unfurling flower that you are becoming in taking alcohol out of the situation, they will fully endorse it. And they will actually carry on around you and let you carry on with the program, because they like the person you're becoming, the one with the sense of humor, more compassion, more ability to cope with life's demands. All of the things that we think we were doing, we're actually doing properly now, because we're actually functioning a lot better than we thought we were. So it's about making you the priority, because when you make you the priority, you become everything to everybody else, but you don't lose yourself in the middle of it.
Beautiful. Well said. Yeah. I love your story about taking an hour. It's not a lot to ask, is it? 1 hour.
And when I did do that the first time, there was horror. It was like Mum went down the passage and opened a laptop and sat on her bed, and damn it, she closed the door. Okay. And she silenced the cell phone, and she didn't answer my WhatsApp because they weren't allowed through that door. And what the hell's actually going on in there? I think that was my stake in the ground, where I said to everybody, this is me. This is my time. And Linda referred to it just now about, I might be 58. Okay. But I'm only just starting.
Exactly.
As you all know, I quit drinking at the age of 63, and I felt like it gave me such a new lease of life. Yeah. So it's one of the best things we can do for ourselves as we get older, for our health, for our mental health and our physical health. So guys, what can I say? Thank you so much. I'm so proud of my graduate.
I think I just maybe speak for us all here, where I say thank you, Janet, wholeheartedly, sincerely, thank you. And it makes me want to well up, because I feel so massively grateful for you, for everybody, and just for that rainy February afternoon where this little tiny lady with these fabulous glasses popped up and said, are you thinking about not drinking? With the Breaking Free program, it takes the overwhelm of tackling this and makes it so more simpler. Yeah. And it makes it such a relatable program, because you're in it with other people and you're going, oh, I've got an answer because that happened to me like 2 days ago. Or somebody's already said something, and you can quickly scroll back up and go, that's how she handled it, or he handled it, or whatever the case may be. It's a user manual to dealing with this, because I don't think until you stop and you look at how alcohol has affected your life, and actually how difficult it is to give up properly. We can all give up for a couple of days. Yeah, sure, no problem. Or Easter or Lent or whatever the case may be. But to actually say, I'm done, and then you stay done, you're not going to do it unless you do a program of Breaking Free.
Yeah, I think it provides a pathway, doesn't it? Because we could spend hours on the internet and looking at things, and podcasts are all over the place. But what we tried to do when we designed it is just to take the best material and curate something that was user-friendly, and the community is everything, I think. It's just...
But you can do that, Janet. You can surf the internet till you're blue in the face. You're not going to get the support. You're not going to get the camaraderie. You're not going to get, oh shit, I fell down yesterday. It's just a color block in your tracker. It's not a one again. It's just a color, different color in your tracker. And that's what trackers for me in the beginning, still to this day, is still vital. When I look at it, it's a dopamine hit that there are no dark blotches on the tracker and that you strive for that. It's a personal thing. So there's plenty of stuff everywhere. You walk into a library and they have a quit lit section, Ellen. They have a section.
A quick lit section.
That's exactly what I did.
And that was a thing.
You know that was the thing, exactly. You can't do it without what breaking free and tribe sober gives you.
Yeah.
Helen and Grania, you're the butterflies. You guys have been so supportive of us. I've learned so much from the two of you right from day one that I feel you've walked with me through this journey.
We learn through you and you hold us accountable. And you will find as you progress in this journey, you will instinctively become a cheerleader for people because you are so committed to it. And it will reaffirm why you have done this in the first place. So I think that's where the whole model works so incredibly well, is that by giving our time and being cheerleaders, you have no idea what it means that we get back.
But thank you. You all know how much I appreciate you and this.
Absolute pleasure.